What is going on, Tallahassee? It is Valentine's Day, Thursday, February 14th. Welcome to FSU Weather. I'm meteorologist Jay Karstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith, and we color coordinated today, both wore pink.
Of course, yeah, it is not Wednesday, so we missed the whole Mean Girls on Wednesdays. Yep. We wear pink day, but we are making up for it in a big way here. And, the rest of the show here, we'll talk about some increasing warmth that's going to be really working into our region here for the next few days.
Yeah, it's honestly been not a bad last couple of days. We went out to the range yesterday, had a good time. It was nice to be outside and enjoy nature, and just a really good time of the year, honestly.
That was the coolest day we've really had, too. And this morning we woke up to temperatures in the 30s, and that is going to be a big thing of the past year. You'll see that 7-day forecast later on in the show. Those cold temperatures are gone for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, we talked about frost on the show yesterday, and I woke up with frost on my car. No longer will that be an issue.
Carless.
Yeah.
I guess that's the problem that I get to avoid. Maybe, I don't know, trying to take a positive out of it. But
here's the thing. We go from frost on the car to your car sweating in the morning, as I'd like to say.
And me also sweating as I'm going to be walking back to campus at 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day. So.
Exactly.
We'll see if we get to 80 degrees this weekend, but for now we're going to go out to the wall where Michael is standing by with our overview of what's to come in tonight's show.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan and Jacob. It's actually a pretty seasonal day outside. A little bit few extra clouds in the sky. You can see right now we're at 59 degrees with that southerly wind. Actually, it will allow us to heat up these next few days back into the 70s. But when we look at satellite and radar, you see there was a lot of cloud cover across our region today. Just some upper level clouds. More of just making the sky look a little more interesting than usual. But as we go into tomorrow morning, the clouds should break just a little bit, and we'll end up with mostly sunny skies to start your Friday, and warmer compared to today at 40 degrees. And then as we head into Friday afternoon, you see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s with 73 here in Tallahassee, 74 in Quincy, and then cooler down towards the coast at 67 in Apalachicola. If we take a look at our headlines for this weekend, nice Valentine's Day weekend. The rain does return next week, but rain chances are not as high. And then we also have your baseball forecast for you. But for now, we're going to send it off to Jake with what's happening in the Southeast.
Thank you, Michael. And baseball, I am so excited to have that back. We're going to talk right now about what's going on across the southeastern United States. We'll start off with our current temperatures across much of the region. We're sitting in the 60s for really most of the area. We got up to a high of about 65 degrees here in Tallahassee. We'll break that down a little bit later when we talk about our local forecast. Some spots in southern Florida as well as up to our west are getting up into those 70s, as you see right here. Shreveport at 72 degrees under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Abundant sunshine in Montgomery, but there has been some on and off cloud cover moving through a big chunk of the region over the past few hours, which is why we didn't exactly get up to our expected high temperature today. Only stayed down in those middle 60s, and now we're already down to just about the 60-degree point. So South Florida still being the hottest spot on the map. Another interesting feature here is the dry air over much of the state of Georgia as well as South Carolina, and even working into portions of North Florida. Dew points down in the lower 30s in Tallahassee. That has been the case really all day. Once we had that front come through the other day, those dew points and temperatures really plummeted pretty substantially from 70 all the way down to 30 over the span of about 24 hours. Some more moist air off to the west here ahead of the next front, which is going to be a fairly weak one, which is why we're not talking about any sort of cold weather coming into our picture beyond the weekend or so. It's interesting to see those low dew points, that dry air over much of the southeast with these southerly winds. Usually we associate these with, bringing in this air off the Atlantic as well as the Gulf Coast. But we're along the portion of Florida right here. We're getting that perfect little, alleyway for some of that drier air to filter in, not kind of avoiding that Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico influence. So some of that drier air still is able to move into parts of southern and central Georgia. Some pretty strong southerly winds ahead of our next frontal system, though. 17 miles per hour out of the south over in Jackson, 12 miles per hour in Tupelo, and 9 miles per hour as well in Little Rock. So you see in the satellite and radar that shield of fairly light clouds working through a big chunk of the region. Tallahassee woke up to mainly clear skies today and even into the early afternoon hours. But as the afternoon has gone on, those clouds have really started to move in a bit of a bigger way here. And that's covering a big chunk of the region, save for parts of Mississippi and Louisiana as well as southern Florida, where a little bit more sunshine is settling into those spots. We look into the future here, and we're going to see some evidence of that next frontal system approaching. Increasing cloud cover off to our north and west with some light showers tomorrow. Shouldn't be affecting us here in Tallahassee or really too badly for the weekend. Could be looking at a stray shower for some portions off to our north and west as well as for us here later on in the weekend. Again, Catherine's going to break that down momentarily. As for tonight, though, temperatures in the 50s for a good chunk of the region. 56 degrees in Jackson, partly cloudy skies. Some rain showers possible in Montgomery as well as Tupelo. Some cooler air working in more towards our neck of the woods. 40 degrees for the nighttime low. Tallahassee, 48 up in Atlanta, and warmer air, of course, degrees sticking around in South Florida, 63 degrees for that nighttime low, right around average for what they're accustomed to seeing down in Miami. As for tomorrow, some warmer air starting to work in. Little Rock's going to be on the cool side as that front moves through at 45, Tupelo at 63 degrees, but 70s and 80s off to the south. Could see some spots in South Florida getting well above the 80-degree point with that sunshine being fairly abundant through the majority of the day. Now I'm going to take things over to Catherine with our look at the local forecast.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. I'm going through a bunch of all these graphics. No, I don't know where I am in terms of the graphics, but thanks for breaking it down for me. We're going to take a second to... Thank you, Michael. Okay, so we should be talking about the almanac right now. Thank you, sorry. Have patience with us. So the actual temperature outside in Tallahassee, 66 degrees, sitting right around the average temperature for this time of the year. If you watched the show yesterday, we might have talked about how low the temperatures were way back almost 100 years ago in the Tallahassee area. And at the desk next, Sarah and Jake are going to talk about how low the temperatures have gotten in Tallahassee this time back in the 1800s. So currently sitting at 59 degrees, mostly cloudy, and as Jake alluded to, our winds are coming from the south at 6 miles an hour, so it's relatively calm, cool conditions outside. And if we take a look at our satellite and radar loop, this system's going to be of interest as we go into next week, bringing in some cloudier conditions, some warmer temperatures, and also some precipitation. Our precipitation chances will increase as we head into next week. But for right now, our high-pressure system sitting right over the Tallahassee area, well, not just the Tallahassee area, for the southeast, but that's bringing us some cooler temperature, nice weather, and still some cloud cover, though, even though it is a high-pressure system. So if we zoom in our satellite and radar, Thursday, this is the radar from about 3 p.m. up until now. We could see the clouds coming in through the area and kind of increasing as we got toward 5 o'clock this afternoon. But into the overnight hours, they should clear out. Our current conditions, Tallahassee sitting at 59 degrees and cloudy, but if we go around, Apalachicola is 58 degrees. But sitting relatively sunny surrounding the Tallahassee area, so good conditions through the Panhandle. Our dew point temperatures, Tallahassee sitting at 32 degrees, so it's relatively dry dew point temperatures, even though we have winds coming off the south. Apalachicola, our dew point temperatures are a little bit higher, so expect more moist conditions over there. Valdosta, 36 degrees, so drier conditions the more north you get inland. Our future cast, so into tonight, 11 p.m., I expect clouds to clear out and expect for clear skies into the overnight hours. And if we head into Friday morning, conditions should be very beautiful. Your morning commute should be sunny and relatively cool. And then as we head into the evening, Friday into the afternoon, some passing clouds into the afternoon, but it should be a great day, and our wind speed should be a little bit higher. 40 degrees as a low tomorrow morning, and then mostly sunny. Winds will be calm. And then if we go into tomorrow afternoon, our temperatures increase about 30 degrees, partly cloudy, and winds out of the south-southwest at 11 miles an hour. And if we take a look at our 7-day forecast, tomorrow's supposed to be the lowest low, 40 degrees, but then if we head into Saturday, Sunday, our temperatures increase to 80 on Sunday, and then our temperatures remain at the mid-70s and upper 70s as we head into next week. I'm going to send things over to Sarah and Jake, who are going to talk about how cold it got in Tallahassee. Tell us about it.
All right, thanks, Catherine. And yeah, it's nice to see those warmer temperatures. A perfect baseball weekend. I'll preview that later on. But I got to say, usually I'm good about tweeting out these cool climate stats, but yesterday I actually missed a pretty big one for us here in Tallahassee.
Shame on you. Yeah, no, so yesterday was the 120th year anniversary of an all-time record for Tallahassee. I'm going to give you guys a second guess. Think of it. It was
-2 degrees. Yes,
crazy.
Below zero. The only time in recorded history with records going back to about 1892. Only time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
In the entire state of Florida, not just Tallahassee, the entire state.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty wild couple of days here for a good chunk of the country, and it wasn't just Tallahassee that got in on some of the fun.
Yeah, I heard a lot of places got other states. 3 in Crawfordville, 10 in Jacksonville,
Yeah.
and then down Miami was 29 degrees.
Freezing point in Miami. I've lived there for 8 years, and I've never experienced anything cooler than about 35 degrees, and I thought that was insane when that happened. Not only did we get the extreme cold in Tallahassee, we also got one of our, if I'm not mistaken, 8 recorded instances of measurable snowfall. Pretty famous picture from the Capitol building. It was actually a fun little snowball fight. If you ever go to the Wikipedia page for it, just Google Arctic outbreak of 1899. That's the first thing you'll see.
Yeah, definitely a really big, different, drastic change we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing warm temperatures. I mean, so definitely a nice bet here in Florida. But for now, we're going to send things over back to the wall.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah and Jake. We're going to take a look at what's happening in the national picture right now. And if you take a look at what's happening here across the southern tier of the country, you notice that it is very warm in Texas, 77 degrees right now in Dallas. And then if we take a look what's happening down towards the southeast, a little bit cooler because those winds are still coming up from the north and they're eventually going to shift and bring in that warmer air. So 60 in Memphis and in Atlanta. Cold up towards the northern plains with temperatures in the single digits and teens. And then pretty cool weather out towards the west with temperatures in the 40s in the interior locations and near 60 in Los Angeles. Now the dew points, you see the dew points are a little bit higher as you go down towards the Gulf Coast. That's because the winds are starting to get southerly and coming out of the Gulf. And then also higher dew points out towards Southern California because winds are coming off the Pacific due to this atmospheric river. And we're going to get into that in just a few seconds of what's happening over there. But you can really see what the atmospheric river looks like on water vapor. Just a plume of moisture coming in from the subtropics right into Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. And they've had a lot of heavy rain going into today. Just a very persistent shield of rain over Southern California, especially for a lot of Thursday. And we're going to zoom into that right now. You can see Los Angeles, they did get some heavy rain today. There was an 8-hour delay in the action at the Genesis Open because of this rain. Down towards San Diego, also some heavier rain. But one place out towards the desert in Palm Springs got over 3 inches of rain today. And Catherine and I are going to talk about that in our desk later. Some pretty impressive rainfall totals out towards the desert in California and Nevada and in Phoenix. As a result, given where we are in the country, it's not surprising we have flash flood watches and warnings in place, with the red ones being flash flood warnings, light green being flood warnings, and then just to watch out for the flooding if you're in the dark green. And that's what we're expecting until through tonight. Now up towards Northern California, in the higher elevations, you're getting mountain snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains with some valley rain, and it's been heavy over here. And we had some pretty impressive rainfall amounts down towards San Francisco going into yesterday evening and especially into today. And of course, we do have the flash flood watches and warnings and also winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in purple and pink. Going into tonight's forecast, you see very cold conditions across the northern part of the country with single digits up towards the northern plains and in Minnesota. Out towards the Intermountain West, a little chilly with temperatures in the 30s, and then down towards the south, warmer with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Going into tomorrow, you see the warm spot down towards southern Texas, well into the 80s, with teens up towards Minnesota. And this pattern we've been in is going to continue with colder than average conditions in the west and then warmer than average conditions, especially in the southeast. Now we're going to send off to Sarah with Florida.
Thanks, Michael. So right now in Florida, if you love warm temperatures, well then Florida is your Valentine for today because we're going to be seeing warmer temperatures around Florida. Right now, Tallahassee is a little bit cooler at 59 degrees, but as we work our way down, starting to warm up at Tampa at 69 and then 74 into Miami. Now our dew points right now are pretty comfortable. We have a little spot up in northern Florida and Tallahassee sitting a little bit more drier at 32, but as we work our way down, 50s and 60s, but overall that's very comfortable out. You're not like, your hair's not getting all over the place and getting all your flyaways, ladies. It's pretty comfortable out, so not too bad out there. Now our satellite and radar, we do have some clouds moving off through into more of the northern panhandle and to the central Florida. We do have a little gap right here of some dry air penetrating in, bringing not out that cloud cover, and then a little bit some showers. I'm going to zoom on into South Florida. It never ceases to amaze me that every time I do the round of Florida, we always have a little bit of some showers offshore. So if you're going out boating, you may run into a little bit of some sprinkles out there, but overall the rest of South Florida is sitting fairly dry. Temperatures for tomorrow warming up. We're seeing 80s here in South Florida. Definitely a little sneak peek into more of that spring-like temperature and moving on into March and April, kind of feeling these temperatures. 80 in West Palm Beach, 79 in Fort Lauderdale, 77 into Naples. Now moving on into central and more northern part of Florida, we do see some clouds moving off through, a little spotty showers off here, but nothing too serious. And so over there, pretty nice for tomorrow as well, sitting in those high 70s, so pretty warm over there too as well. Gainesville at 77, Live Oak a little bit cooler at 73. Moving on to St. Augustine, 73 out there, so very nice temperatures over for tomorrow for the central Florida. Now if we're moving on into the Panhandle, still the same picture again of those cloud cover hanging around for here in the Panhandle. And then for tomorrow, a little bit cooler than the rest of Florida, though pretty nice out there. Crestview at 71, Destin at 67, the cool spot, and then over in Mariana at 72. Now for tonight, we're going to be on the nicer side. You may need a light jacket as you're going out, but not too bad out there. 40 in Tallahassee, the cold spot, moving off through, getting a little bit warmer as we move our way down. Tampa at 54, Miami at 63. Now moving into tomorrow, there's that warm up that we've all been talking about on this show. Tallahassee at 73, working our way down, warming up into those more red colors. 76 into Tampa, 80 in West Palm Beach. So definitely a little bit more on the warmer side here into Florida. But for now, I'm going to send things over to Dylan with our local forecast.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Well, the temperature has dropped down to 59 degrees. Sorry, my height's a little off. I'm a little too tall for these graphics. But the current temperatures are 59 degrees, a little cloudy right now. We're seeing a lot of this moisture on the upper levels, though, not at the lower levels. We'll take a look at it a little more, but not too bad conditions, already starting to cool down as we try to reach our low for tonight, 40 degrees. Throughout the rest of the region, though, they're seeing a little more cloud cover in the central areas, down above us, up above us, sorry, in Thomasville, 59 degrees and clear skies. In Perry, 61 and clear skies as well. And over by the coast in Apalachicola, clear skies as well. So it depends where you are. You're seeing some more cloud cover, some less cloud cover. And as we look at the lower levels, which is where we are, we're seeing some dry conditions. Dew points into the 30s, so it is feeling a little dry if you're not used to these drier dew points. Not as moist as we've seen with the 50-degree dew points in the last couple of days before this front, but after the front, we're seeing the dry air really stick in for just a little bit. And we're going to see a little bit of resurgence of moisture. That's why you saw a little 40-degree dew point over in Perry. That's because the winds are coming out of the south, bringing in some Gulf moisture and making it feel a little more moist for folks out there. And as we look at the big picture, we do have high pressure sitting in on top of us, but as you look at the upper levels, we had some moisture, and that's why we have all these blankets of cloud. These aren't rain over here, that's just debris, so don't worry about that for folks in Cross City and south of Dowling Park. But they're seeing a lot of cloud cover situated throughout the area, and this is expected as we go into tonight as well. You see a lot of cloud cover sticking around, and while this futurecast might not show the lower level cloud cover, there is still some expected as we see clouds mostly sticking around through tonight and even into tomorrow as well, as we see cloud cover, but a little more sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow compared to today, so it will warm up just a bit as that cold air fizzles out and the warm air sits in for tomorrow. We do see some showers, though, possible to our western and northwestern counties, but nothing too severe for the southern and eastern in Perry, Monticello, and St. Mark's, and cloud cover really sticking around into the evening. Tonight, the last big cold night for the rest of the week, as we see temperatures drop back into the 40s, though on the coast in Apalachicola, staying 10 degrees warmer than we are here in Tallahassee at 51 degrees there, but still cold, and you might wake up to possible frost, very unlikely tomorrow morning. And as we get into tomorrow afternoon, here's that warm air coming back, though on the coast in Apalachicola with that southerly breeze, still keeping it a little cooler there at 67 degrees. Farther north, though, that warmer air really sitting in. And as we look at your 7-day forecast, well, tomorrow we got some warm temperatures, 73 degrees as our high, and then not dropping back down into the lows of 40s for a while, as we see our highs and lows stay very above average this time of year. We see rain chances come back Sunday night into Monday day and sticking around till Wednesday, but still relatively warm conditions throughout much of the day. But now we're going to send it over to the desk with Catherine and Michael.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, the conditions look like to be pretty good this weekend. Temperatures are warming up in Tallahassee area. But we're going to take a second to talk about what's going on over in California with the atmospheric river. I know you alluded to that earlier in the show.
Yeah, that's what I alluded to on my national. It's basically where all the weather in the country is happening right now. A lot of flash flooding and mudslides and very heavy snow with some avalanches up towards the Sierra Nevada mountains. So it's been a pretty active day in California overall.
I even saw on Twitter that there were reports of thunder snow, so that's kind of exciting if you've ever seen thunder snow. It definitely is a little bit out of place when it's snowing and then lightning kind of comes out of nowhere.
Exactly, yeah, that's especially how it's been in Northern California and the Sierra Nevada mountains. But people normally think about Southern California as nice, sunny, mild, perfect escape for winter. I mean, that wasn't the case today. A lot of heavy rain in Southern California.
And we typically hear about California being in a drought for much of the year. So this is definitely a change of pace for people in Southern California.
Exactly.
And I think you mentioned that even there was about 3 inches of rain in a desert area.
In Palm Springs, which is basically in the middle of the California desert, 3 inches of rain.
3 inches of rain.
Their average yearly rainfall is 5.5 inches of rain.
That's intense. Something I always like to think about is how the rain height relates to how much snow there would be. So there would have been about 3 feet of snow there.
Exactly.
Which is which is a lot of precipitation.
It's a lot of rain, especially for a desert region. That's why we have the flash flood watches and warnings in place. Of course, Los Angeles, we've been tracking the weather there because we had the Genesis Open there this weekend, had a 7-hour delay because of this rain. Luckily, they're trying to catch up a little bit today, and let's hope they do this weekend. But now we're going to send it off to the wall with Jake.
Only 2 times mentioning the Genesis Open today, Michael. I'm really proud of you. But, you know, you guys talked about sunny, mild, perfect. Tallahassee delivered in that respect here. If you got your forecast for the rest for tomorrow, 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. A fantastic day to get out on the water there on the southwest side of town, not too far from Tallahassee International Airport. The res will be open from 12 until 6 o'clock through Sunday, and even better a couple of days after that if you can avoid the rain on Sunday. There winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. If you're going to be getting out on the golf course, equally really awesome weather, essentially. The morning could be a bit on the cool side here. Temps in the 40s to get the day going, so it's going to be a better day to get out there in the afternoon. That's always my tradition, until Seminole Golf Course unfortunately closed due to those renovations, but I'm looking forward to the reopening on October 1st. For your Friday night forecast, 59 degrees is going to be the look here. Mostly cloudy skies. Again, wind's going to be out of the south at 5 miles per hour. A much warmer night to look forward to tomorrow compared to what we are going to be seeing tonight for us. And of course, this sets up for the return of Florida State baseball. Top 15 start to the season. Mike Martin's last year in Tallahassee here before he retires. 75 degrees for opening day. 4 o'clock first pitch at Dick Howser Stadium as they take on the Maine Black Bears, the first of a 4-game series. Doubleheader on Saturday. I'll be out there tomorrow as well as for the second game Saturday. Looking like a perfect weekend for baseball here with temperatures getting up to 80 degrees by Sunday. Again, 2 games tomorrow, 12 and 4 o'clock here, 76 degrees. Could not ask for a better day to get out and watch Florida State baseball be back in action starting off that 2019 season. If we look at the futurecast to wrap things up here, you'll see increasing cloud cover through the day tomorrow. Shouldn't be looking at too much of a rain threat. You could see a spotty shower as well as Sunday where that rain chance bumps up to about 30%, but otherwise looking like a pretty nice and very warm weekend ahead for us here in Tallahassee. But for now, I'm going to take things over to Sarah with our final local forecast.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, we have set up a beautiful sunset. We do have a lot of that cloud cover hanging around, but overall, a very nice night here. Seeing those pinks, especially very nice for here for Valentine's Day here in Tallahassee. But current conditions around the Big Bend area, pretty nice all around. May need light jackets to be going out, but not too bad. 61 into Bainbridge, Tallahassee at 59, and then Perry at 59 as well. So overall, a very nice Valentine's Day night. Dew points right now, we are sitting still dry in the Big Bend area, so definitely may need to have that chapstick on hand, but overall, not too dry, so very comfortable out there if you're going out and about, going out to dinner. Now we have that sideline radar. We do have this high pressure system off into our east, really settling in, kind of scooted its way over here and gave us this really nice weather here we're going to be having here for the weekend. Do have some low deck of clouds moving off through, but overall a very nice day as we move zooming closer into the Big Bend area. There's just those clouds just kind of piling the way through, but we will clear up for that evening time. We're going to see in this future cast there at 11 o'clock, a lot of that a little bit late into the night. Those cloud covers going to push their way out, making it a nice night as you're going out on the town or going out for dinner. Now as you move on into Friday, waking up for your Friday classes, clear skies for that morning. Beautiful day to go out, especially if you don't even have classes. Definitely take advantage of tomorrow. And then as we move on into the afternoon time, we do see some clouds, hit or miss clouds moving off through some partly cloudy skies. But overall, a very nice day. Now for tonight, though, we are going to still sit really chilly, though, so definitely have that jacket as you're going out. 41 into Quincy, 40 into Tallahassee. 46 in St. Mark's. But the good news is we're going to be warming up, so this is probably the last night. So if you guys like this cold weather, definitely take advantage of it now, because as I move on into after this slide, it's the 7-day. You're going to get a bit of a shocker once you see the 7-day. Now for tomorrow, though, pretty nice warming up, nice low 70s, as we have Bainbridge up at 74. Tallahassee at 73, a little bit colder at Apalachicola at 67. So a very nice day here for the Big Bend area for going off into the weekend. Now, as I mentioned, I don't want to show you that 80, I know, but if you like this warm weather, definitely take advantage of when we get into the next, into Sunday. So Friday going to be the best bet if you like this cold temperatures. Take advantage of it now, because we're going to have that warming trend as we move on into Sunday, 80%. But then as we get into Monday, though, we're going to get more of that moist, damp, gross, kind of stormy for start of the work week. So 50%, 40% on to Monday and Tuesday. So definitely have that umbrella as you're going out to school or going out to work. And then overall, the temperatures are going to dip a little bit, but we're going to see those warm temperatures return, really making Florida wanting to spring on into spring, bringing us those warmer-like temperatures. But for now, I'm going to send things over back to the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. I'm definitely going to take advantage of the low of 40 degrees tonight. It's a good day to be cold on Valentine's Day if you have anyone to snuggle up with.
Of course.
Get cuddly. It's a good night to do that.
Yep, it is a good night if you do have someone available tonight.
That's true, yeah. No, I'm there.
Let's take a look at actually what we're expecting the spring-like weather for this weekend. Good for the spring-like activities like baseball, softball.
Yeah. What other spring-like activities are there? Running. I love
running,
to run.
Yep.
I would say that these are less spring-like and more summer-like to me, but it's going to get hot pretty quick. Our rain chances increase Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I expect Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to be similar to what we saw yesterday. Kind of dreary and kind of wet.
Yeah, it's more, those showers are going to be more of a nuisance showers. What we didn't show you on Jake Southeast is a lot of the heavy rainfall is going to be up towards North Georgia, North Alabama, and into Tennessee. So rainfall amounts of up to like 4 to 5 inches up there. Down here, only expecting at most an inch, so not really heavy rainfall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that low pressure system's going to kind of just swoop through, but not really touch us completely.
Exactly.
But Saturday and Sunday, take advantage of it before it gets kind of iffy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And also look at the lows next week, mid-60s.
Yeah.
That's pretty warm for February, more typical of, again, of April, May.
Right.
So very warm out there, especially for next week.
Yeah. I'm excited, though, for baseball to start. Jake has been talking about it. I'm really excited to watch baseball. It's really fun because it's outside.
Exactly. Baseball with Mike Martin's last season. Softball is actually in Clearwater this weekend, so it'll be pretty nice down there. But don't forget to follow us on Twitter for any of these weather updates, twitter.com/FSU weather.
And like us on Facebook for some updates throughout the week.
And don't forget about, we always live stream on YouTube every weeknight at 6, youtube.com/FSU weather.
And follow us on Instagram at FSU weather.
Yep, any beautiful sunset pics or flower pics. I actually see some trees starting to blossom.
Yeah,
like when we went out to the golf course yesterday.
Love that.
But for all of us here at FSU weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Onnen.
And I'm student meteorologist Catherine Busick. Happy Valentine's Day.